I never imagined that one day my own home, the one my grandparents had left me, would feel like anything but mine. But when Ryan brought his parents into our house without discussing it with me first, everything changed. The house, a sprawling $5 million estate, had been my sanctuary and a palpable connection to my late father, who had left it to me in his will, hoping it would provide stability and happiness for my future. At first, I thought Ryan's suggestion that his parents stay with us for a little while was out of necessity. His father had suffered a mild stroke, and his mother needed help caring for him. What began as a temporary arrangement slowly morphed into a permanent invasion of our space and my life. Ryan's mother, Helen, took over the house with an iron fist, rearranging furniture, redecorating without asking, and even going as far as critiquing my parenting of our 4-year-old son, Lucas. The tension in the house grew as Ryan became more dismissive of my concerns. Each time I tried to discuss how overwhelmed I felt, he assured me I was exaggerating and that his parents' presence was a blessing. But Helen's critical comments and overbearing nature said otherwise. She had comments on everything, from the way I dressed Lucas to how I should cook dinner. It felt less like help and more like a slow, painful takeover of the life I had known. Months passed and the situation worsened. I felt like a stranger in my own home, tiptoeing around Helen's moods and Ryan's indifference. My friends noticed the change in me. I was no longer the vibrant, outgoing Olivia. I was fading, losing pieces of myself to the chaos and control within my own walls. One evening, the truth of my marriage and the reality of my situation became painfully clear. After Ryan had forgotten our anniversary, I stayed up late, waiting for him to come home from what he claimed was an urgent business meeting. As I cleaned up after a quiet, lonely dinner, I stumbled upon receipts from a hotel and restaurant in town, dated that night. The pieces clicked into place, and the foundation of trust and partnership I thought I had with Ryan crumbled. Confronting him was one of the hardest things I had ever done. The conversation was heated and heart-wrenching. Ryan confessed to an affair, justifying it by blaming the stress at home and my supposed distance. I realized then that his dismissal of my feelings was not just about his parents, but about removing me from the equation of his life. The next few weeks were a blur of lawyers, tears, and hard decisions. I filed for divorce, not out of spite, but out of a desperate need to reclaim my life and provide a healthy environment for Lucas. Helen and Ryan's father moved out shortly after, and the house was silent again, hauntingly so. Selling the house was my final act of letting go. It was more than a transaction. It was a release of all the memories, both good and bad, that had filled those rooms. I took Lucas and we moved to a small, bright apartment in the city. It was ours and ours alone. Here I began to rebuild, focusing on healing and growing stronger as a single mother. The lessons were hard-earned. I learned the importance of boundaries, not just with family, but with everyone. I learned that my voice was important and that standing up for myself wasn't selfish, it was necessary. And most importantly, I learned that the concept of home isn't tied to any one place. It's where you make it, with people who love and respect you. Lucas and I created new routines, and slowly, laughter returned to our lives. I joined a support group for single parents, which became a source of strength and friendship. And as Lucas started kindergarten, I began to take freelance design work, rediscovering my passion for art that had been buried under years of marital strife. Looking back, I wouldn't say I'm grateful for the pain and betrayal, but I am grateful for the growth. I'm stronger now, more myself than I ever was. And as Lucas paints pictures on our living room floor, his laughter echoing off the walls of our little apartment, I know that we're going to be okay. We're more than okay, we're home. As the months turned into a year, Olivia found herself in a rhythm she hadn't anticipated, but dearly loved. The small apartment that had once seemed like a downgrade from her sprawling estate became a canvas for her and Lucas's new life. Every corner was filled with memories they made together, from the makeshift art studio in the corner of the living room where Lucas's colorful creations took pride of place, to the tiny but vibrant balcony garden that Olivia nurtured with the same care she gave her son. Olivia had also taken to blogging about her experiences as a single mother navigating the complexities of parenting, divorce, and self-discovery. It started as a therapeutic outlet, but soon grew into a small community of followers who connected with her authenticity and raw honesty. Her blog posts about dealing with divorce, moving on, and finding joy in the little things resonated with many who were on similar journeys. One evening, while scrolling through comments on her latest post about finding empowerment through independence, a message caught her eye. It was from a fellow single parent, Ethan, who shared his own story of recovery and rebuilding after a painful divorce. They started a correspondence, bonding over shared experiences and exchanging advice on everything from co-parenting to dealing with ex-partners. Their online interaction gradually turned into phone calls, and eventually, they decided to meet. Their first date was at a quiet cafe, and they talked for hours, the conversation flowing effortlessly. Ethan was a graphic designer and shared Olivia's passion for art and creativity. He understood the challenges of raising a child alone, and his empathetic nature made Olivia feel understood in ways she hadn't in years. As their relationship developed, Olivia noticed changes in herself that she hadn't expected. She laughed more, worried less, and found joy in everyday moments. Lucas, too, responded positively to Ethan, who treated him with kindness and respect. It was during a Sunday picnic in the park, watching Lucas and Ethan kick a soccer ball under the soft glow of the autumn sun, that Olivia realized she had found something special. She saw a future that was different from what she had planned, but no less beautiful. This realization brought with it a new sense of peace. Olivia's heart, once burdened by betrayal and loss, began to heal. She was not just moving on, she was moving forward. Ethan and his daughter Mia, who he introduced to Olivia and Lucas a few months into their relationship, slowly became a part of their family. The four of them together brought new traditions, laughter, and love into each other's lives. Olivia's blog flourished as she shared this new chapter with her followers. Her posts about blending families, finding love after loss, and creating a home with people who choose each other every day inspired others to open their hearts to the possibilities of new beginnings. On a crisp winter morning, almost 2 years after her divorce, Olivia published a post titled Full Circle. She wrote about the journey from losing herself in a marriage that wasn't right, through the pain of rebuilding, to finding a partnership that felt like home. She talked about the importance of not just surviving, but thriving and finding happiness in places one least expects.